ahead and call the meeting to order. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes from the November 24th public meeting? Moved by Justin to approve.
Second.
Second by Cale, all in favor? And the minutes from the November 24th regular meeting.
Move, pass regular meeting.
Moved by Justin to
Second.
approve, second by Larry, all in favor? Okay. And the minutes from the December 2nd special meeting. Moved by Dara, second by Cale, all in favor? Okay. Consent agenda, we need permission for clerk to pay insurance at time of billing, permission for clerk to pay utilities at time of billing, permission for clerk to pay utility incentives before the 25th of the month, permission for clerk to pay theater bills when due, permission for clerk to pay payment service network bills when due, and permission for clerk to pay attorney bills when due.
Consent agenda.
Moved by Larry,
Second.
second by Justin, all in favor? Okay. New business. Trav, you're up.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, start it out.
I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at my drawing or not, for what I'm proposing in my backyard. Just proposing an addition onto my garage for kind of an extension of a kitchen and outdoor area and fire pit and smokehouse. Be taking the fence down and moving it in property-wise. Initially, we were looking at, have a concrete foundation up against the alley that does wash water, keep water on the yard side, takes it east towards the next property. And it has washed out the fence. Now, when I move that back, I'm gonna just have like rocked, or whatever, hopefully paved eventually, when I come in and ask for it, but, you know, parking lot back there and keep the fence along the next property line and, all the way to the alley. I was hoping the water from the end of my building will be 3 foot back from property line, would be enough to kick it off over that foundation into the alley and, you know, keep it off of, to potentially both properties before it goes to it. I think there's a little trash can, fenced in area, concrete thing that might potentially wash out. Worst case scenarios is what we're looking at, but, by all means, if it's enough to, 3 foot back enough to have overhang to kick it off that'd be nice. If there's a potential to ask for closer in order to do that with my overhang, it'd be nowhere past where the original fence line is right now, as is. But I would like it 8 foot tall, so I don't know if that's a special ask or not. If I need to, I can keep it back 3 foot and make it work. We're adding galvanized metal coming off of asphalt, 412 to the 212 slope, and then onto more galvanized, roughly about that slope, depending on when the into the building starts and kicks it off into the alley. A little bit of guttering inside the yard, but that's something I'll have to deal with, just to kind of kick it away from the structure. But other than that, I don't really see any potential water problems or overhead problem. There's a tree I'm actually building around just because I can't have the heart to rip it out. You know, keep it kind of open roofed area, indoor, outdoor, pergola style with the structure and galvanized metal around it. But other than that, everything I would like to kick out to the alley. At the proper time, I'll come in and ask for a commercial kitchen. That won't do anything to change my construction by any means. I'm over constructing for what that's needed according to all the state inspectors that I've had over there. So when that time comes, and you know, as many plans as I've had in the works, I think we'll just, you know, when it happens, it happens. Right now, we're just asking for construction to add on to the property.
So you're using galvanized
Yes.
metal or pro panel?
Pro panel, excuse me.
Pro panel?
Pro panel, not strong barn or anything like that. New barnwood I stripped off, or new to me, nice shiplap red barnwood pulled off a barn that top story blew down, and using a lot of reclaimed stuff, but I've got some substantial river plank or bridge plank beams from the county that I'm gonna use for the main structure. So I mean, everything's gonna definitely be built like a brick house, but one way or another, cosmetically, I'll be doing more shiplap barnwood and fence pickets will be all the alley side. Probably do some clear coat on the barnwood just for protection purposes, but, yeah.
And you're asking 8 foot for the fence, cause our city ordinance is only allows 6.
8 foot from my building, and
8
my
foot for
building
the
to be
building?
just maybe 1.5 feet closer to the property line, 1.5 feet back from their old fence line. There's already, at that point where I'm asking, there's already a tree that I have to keep trimmed for the trash truck, so, I mean, it's not really making a new overhead or closing anything in that hasn't already been used to. But, yeah.
So the building's 8 foot, the
Yeah,
fence is
8
6
foot, the fence will be gone next to the building. The fence that I'm moving back will be recessed into the yard about 20 feet.
So you're just moving the one fence?
Yes, ma'am. So the fence probably I'll just get rid of that has the building, and I just want the eave of the building to be kicking that water off into the alley, preferably in the yard side into that foundation area. But if not, I'll make that work as well. So just a little gutter and a kick out. But if you guys are worried about any hazard of building too close to it at the potential time, but right now the tree's kind of causing that hazard as it is.
Have you looked at it, Weldon? Briefly. I went and looked at it, but he changed his mind like 3 times already there, so that's why I thought I was coming to talk to you guys, but. So are you putting your drip edge at the curb, at your back curb?
Yeah, the back, I mean, like we talked, we thought we could have like about, 6 inches back from that fence line with my drip edge, back into my property. And that should be enough to, with that height, to kick it off over that foundation where the old fence is posted into.
So you're not gonna pass your old fence though?
No, I'm taking that, like where that tree is and everything like that, we'll have that tree completely open, that building stopping before the tree, everything else will be pergola style, so it won't even be catching rain. But it's just that building. I mean, I could do a gable or something like that on that end, but then it's more construction from my side for what I've gathered on materials, and it's kept for how many years in storage units that I'm actually utilizing. So it's, they're proper materials, they're not all reclaimed stuff. Structurally, everything's sound by all means, it's just cosmetic that I'm using the reclaimed stuff on,
And this will be for your commercial kitchen?
potentially. And that comes, for now, it's just added value to my property. And I'm gonna use it. Kind of a plan I've had since I bought the place, but outdoor kitchen and, place for have this giant smoker is, underneath is kind of nice, and at the time of, commercial regulations, you have to have it covered coming from the smoker into the processing area. So at that time, it'll already be constructed and help me for any smoking, because, gosh, 50-mile-per-hour winds shut it down the other day, so it'll be nice. Doesn't cause any more, I won't be using it any more than a residential smoker, guys, so it's not gonna be a daily use.
It won't be galvanized color?
No, the roof will be, old galvanized stuff, same stuff Dad had on the shop up there. The showroom or whatever, yeah, the one that he sold where Dad lived.
That's pro panel though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's pro panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all pro panel. Yeah, there is no galvanized, I'll have some stuff for wainscot, new strong barn inside the building, but nothing exterior.
You good with it, Dan?
Yeah, if you just stay back behind where his fence was. I'll be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, okay, I think keeping the eave, whatever that may be, sometimes it's 12 inches. As long as that eave ends right 6 inches past where my property line is, that should be enough to kick it off with that 8-foot height. But I mean, if you guys, I start building it and it looks like a hazard, I'll, right time, we'll look at it.
But as far as the commercial,
Yeah, that's not on the
Kitchen.
plate right now.
okay,
Yes,
cause
ma'am.
that'll. you'll have to get a
Yeah, I
variance for
know
that.
everything I need to do for that, 10,
Okay.
20 times
I just
over.
didn't
is-
want you to go to this thinking you'll do the commercial without getting the variance first.
Oh,
You have
gosh,
to
no.
get the
I know
variance
everything I
get
need
that.
to go through, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But it's, 20 times over, I've thought this through for sure, but, between the state and federal, depending on which way to go, and I've conversed with Becky Bierrox on what to do and other people, and when the time comes, I'll be able to transfer over to that easily with this construction, so, but other than that, it might just be a really nice outdoor kitchen and smoke shack for potential property for sale.
Yeah.
So,
the only one?
Oh,
Or do we have? What do we normally
should we
do each
just do
one?
all of them? Nope, we can. If you guys have a problem with it, then.
I'm good with it. I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
I'll abstain since my mother-in-law owns the house next door, so.
And I think
Gotta be
it'll-
on the property line.
Yes, ma'am, and keep the original fence, is gonna stay there. And anything with slope would be sloped directly to the alley. I think this would potentially solve, I mean, on my side, I have 3 bricks probably there in that corner, so it has washed out a little bit as of is. And, you know, when I had that husky, it would always get out right there, but you have a concrete pad with, pickets going around where you disclose your, trash can, and
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
might talk to Hoagie or something.
yeah, no, absolutely, yeah, you guys get it, I'll get it, but any, okayed with anybody I need to, by all means, absolutely. And if you guys got any, suggestions, I'll take them, by all means.
Well, we'll just do this one and
Yeah.
moved by Kale, second by Larry, but they're abstaining. Justin, you, okay,
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
yep,
Thank you.
thanks, Trav. So,
Nathan.
Cal, I hear it's your last meeting. Thanks for
Oh,
your service on here, sir.
thank you, sir.
Sorry to call you out.
That's fine.
Kind of. You guys have a good meeting.
see you, Trav.
See you, man.
There's 2 more building permits out there. If we wanna go ahead and approve those.
Any problem with that? The fence, no?
The fence is behind the property, correct, Dan?
What's that?
On that one, the fence is behind the property, back where the.
On 616? Yes. They told me it would be, cause I called, they wanted to build out front, I told them they couldn't do that. Not without majorly lowering the fence, so.
Moved by Justin,
Second.
second by Kale to approve the 2 building permits, all in favor? Okay. Cereal malt beverage license for Diamond R, Michael Reed. Yeah. Moved by Kale,
Second.
second by Larry, all in favor? Okay, then also a cereal malt beverage license for Colorado Retail Venture Services, Eagle Convenience number 12.
Okay, approve that too.
Moved by Kale, second by Justin, all in favor? Okay. Old Business Courthouse Park and Sawhill Park. I did visit with the commissioners at the last commissioner meeting, and they are going to deed the city the 2 parks, so. Yep. That's all I have. Joe, do you have anything else for that? Property cleanup?
Got that one picture, the pictures of the one you wanted. Pictures of it. I think the vehicles were most of the complaint, right?
Correct, yes. All of the vehicles up and we parked up off of the. That's Chris Braceland, that's College Street, in between the 2 schools, sitting on the south side, accumulating lots of vehicles up in the yard.
Second house ends.
Second
Yeah.
house, yeah. Everybody okay with sending letters to this one? Okay.
It's not a parking lot.
Do we want to address Pat Cressway? He's here on property
Sure.
cleanup, we'd sent that letter to him, and Pat and Betty are here.
Mayor and City Council, I got the letter, you dated it November 7th, it was postmarked the 13th, but you mailed it to the correct address, 205 East Emerson, and the postal department got it to me on the 22nd. So it took a little bit of time to get to me. I did call and talk to Lila this afternoon. Betty had, contacted me and said she was interested in taking over the property. And I didn't know if that would kind of walk away from any responsibility for you and for me. But, I had told Lila this afternoon that she was gonna call Lauren and check with her whether we get an extension to at least this evening. And Betty has somebody coming to do a title search if that works out for her, and that would be maybe Wednesday,
Hopefully Wednesday. but
hopefully
not Friday.
Wednesday. And so, either which way, if you'd allow me to just deed it over to Betty, she has plans to completely clear it off. I think she talked about putting a garden in. If not, then I take exception number 2, on your offer, option number 2. I appreciate the fact that the council has been as lenient as they have and that they've made these offers. You know, I didn't expect my house to burn down, and so, it was, I have to thank Randy. He's been doing a little mowing over there off and on because I, just really am not as physically capable of doing that stuff as I used to be, so. And I kind of put my head in the sand on this. I did talk to Amanda about the tax levy one day up at the courthouse, because I thought, wow, that's pretty high. But she informed me that the reason the taxes were still what they were is because they set those on January 1, if I remember what she said. So, and of course, the house didn't burn until February 13th. So I am, I guess, at your mercy to what you want to do. If you want to hear what Betty's plans are, I'm sure she could elaborate.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what, I mean, I've got bids to have the property, the residential area demolished. Both bids that I received suggested that we do that like in the winter time, February, March-ish, so that would be my intent to do that. I don't know if I'd ever build on that. I don't know if this is a good idea on my part or not, but I guess I know the property needs to be cleaned up, and I understand why Pat hasn't been over there as well, so I certainly get that too. But if you do allow him to deed it to me, what kind of a time frame do I have, just in case weather messes things up?
Do you think 6 months would be,
Oh, I hope so, yeah.
I mean, if we gave you, obviously with being this close to the end of the year, gave you 6 months from January 1, give you,
I would assume that'd be,
well then, and obviously if that's not enough, you know,
okay,
if you run into hiccups or whatever.
all right. Yeah, that should be ample time. I just need to know that I can get clear title, so
Yeah.
that's my main concern.
So if we give you 6 months, and like I said, if something, get another hiccup or something like that,
Okay, I can let you
we
know.
can work with you,
Okay.
for sure,
And I would assume I need to get a permit before they go to
to
the.
raise.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So,
If I may.
Yeah.
I would ask that if you do acquire title to the property, that you bring a copy of the filed deed over to City Hall so we know that that transfer has occurred.
Okay.
Just so that way we know, like I said, that that transfer has occurred and that we will be granting that 6 month running forward, because if that doesn't happen, we won't know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thanks, Betty.
everybody in agreement with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yep,
All
sounds
right.
good, thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thanks,
thanks Betty.
guys.
Appreciate all your help.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Dan, anything else practical for me? Yeah, some that are coming up that are. Cause these other ones got letters correct.
Some of it,
Looks like there's 3 for sure.
Yeah. Letters were issued, I don't know that they've all been served.
So all of these have letters issued.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so the ones that have service delivery date, then those 3 obviously.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Anybody else? Any questions? Streets project?
Do we kinda wanna try to get ahead of our projects that we're gonna do? We can meet with Miller Associates or whatever again and try to, first of the year, try to, get something pressed down on more.
When did you say they're looking at, patching streets, or the
Cracks.
crack seal, thank you,
Probably after the first.
of January?
I'll have to get a hold of him for sure, but I think we could use most of that on College Street. After I went and drove it,
Really?
yeah. Still a lot of cracks up, there's no business, but,
It takes a lot of traffic on there, too.
yeah, it does.
Have you had any feedback from Miller Associates as far as helping us set up an entire project?
Not yet, I can call him and ask him about it. That's what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
can we try to get a date set, we can try to
Yeah.
meet?
And maybe you and Dan and I get together and,
Yeah.
since we've got some pricing on
Yep.
different blocks and try to piece together what we think
Okay.
will work. Okay. Anything else? Streets project?
I don't think so.
No? Visitors? Bill, do you have anything that's here listening? Dave, Robbie, do you guys?
After the last meeting, I kind of did a little legwork. And I brought up possibly redoing that frontage road with grass, trees, whatever. I'm trying to cheapen up the cost. I got, a hold of Rick Billinger. We spoke 4 times. Have you guys, Rick said he's been dealing with this for 14 years. This back and forth with the state, and I get it. You guys are between a rock and a hard place, I understand that. Has the city applied for grants in those 14 years to try to rectify this issue?
The city doesn't own it.
My proposal is, I understand that.
But the city can't apply for a grant for the state to fix something that the state owns.
Okay, I understand that
The
too.
city can apply for a grant to fix something
Okay.
the city owns, but the city doesn't own it.
I talked to, Rick gave me the number of a gal, and I spoke to her twice today. Her name is Shawn Wesner. You guys familiar with her? She is the executive director of the Kansas Infrastructure Hub. She kind of deals with infrastructure in the state. She got me in contact with a gal. Her name is Shannon Prady, Praete. She's a technical advisor for federal grant monies. I'm learning as I go. This was established because the state of Kansas supposedly was losing out on a bunch of federal money. So they established this program, and what she does, she's out of South Carolina. She has our district, whatever, goes to Wallace. She goes, I have Wallace, she's got everything north of I-70. She was involved in Surefire Ag when they expanded. They had a water problem with the city of Atwood. Well, she was involved in that $4 million grant to get water to Surefire. She's also been involved in our area. The lake at Norton Lake. They ain't called Norton Lake, what is it?
Prairie Dog State
Huh?
Park. Prairie Dog State
Prairie
Park.
Dog, yeah. I guess the road around it, and I ain't been there for a long time, asphalt was terrible, and the state wouldn't fix it. They got $3 million grant to put asphalt around that lake. I was on the phone with her for a couple hours today. Kinda explained to her the situation, and again, I'm learning, all right? I just told her this has been an ordeal for quite a while. The state owns it, the state won't fix it, the state won't let us fix it. They proposed this Band-Aid idea, and go here, it's all yours, and we voted it down. What needs to be done is that needs to be taken clear down to base, that base fixed, 6 inches of concrete or asphalt, whatever we determine, redone. She said, well, do you have any figures of what, give me a ballpark. I had this from the last meeting from Miller and Associates in here, 6 inches of concrete, that frontage road, $1.37 million, correct? Okay, shoot, what, that's it? That's nothing. David, I'm getting right on this. Now, to answer your question, I understand that. But I'm sure there's ways to, I told her the state owned it twice. I told her that. I'm sure there's ways to circumvent this, to see if this is gonna apply or whatever. And if we can get that money, tell the state to go pound sand, and we fixed the problem ourselves. That's what I'm getting at. This is, in my humble opinion, ridiculous that this has gone on for so long. Everybody I've talked to here, I get, yeah, they talk about it every 5 years, and then it gets swept under the rug, and then another 5 years it comes up. Well, I'll let her, y'all. Come on. Let's fix this. So I have this gal's name. I'm gonna talk to her again tomorrow. And I'm trying to get all the information that I can, exactly how to cross the T's and dot the I's and see whether we qualify since we do not own it, and how can we can go around that, whatever, and pursue this. It's a new grant, it's called the Build Grant. 100%. They pay 100%. He said typically grants are 80-20. Is that a fair statement?
Just depends on the grants, but yeah.
But this is called the Build Grant. She said there's a lot of money for infrastructure out there. And she says she'll help us write the grant, do whatever it takes. So that's what I just wanted to bring to your attention. I talked to Kale last week after the meeting, and anyway. So I'm going to pursue this and get as much information as I can and give that to y'all. And if we can get grant money to do that, tell the state we'll take it as is, you know, and we just fix it ourselves. Anyway, I just thought, I wanna know what y'all thought about that.
Yeah.
You know, enough's enough. Anyway, that's all I got.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
one more thing. I got money brought in from the 1% tax increase, sales tax. Last year, shoot, where is it? What is CU tax?
Compensating use,
Pardon?
compensating use.
Compensated use. What is that? How is that brought in? Who pays that? That's not sales tax, is it?
It is, it's sales tax, it's when people buy stuff out of state.
Okay, but so it's still sales tax.
It's sales tax, just
So
different
all of the
category.
compensated use and the 1% increase in the sales, I have here, you have a balance of about $850,000 in your account. Okay, well, this is 2025. Why aren't more streets getting fixed?
Working on that right now. Like I said, $1 million. Fix a lot of them.
What's that, $1 million to fix a lot of them?
Yeah, we got some streets to get done.
Like Spencer, concrete, has that been looked at all?
Just
Did
looked
we not
at-
have that in that packet from the last meeting, the ones that we had priced out?
Pardon?
We had in that packet.
There was a few streets in 2024 that were repaved.
Is that
So here,
1%?
so these are the ones that we're looking at, so those
It
are the
seems
different
awful high.
priority 1, 2, and 3, different color
No,
codes. The
that's
ones that we're
accurate.
looking at, we've got pricing on to try to come up with a plan of what we can,
Okay, show me, if you would please, pick any priority, show me that street, and show me the money it's gonna take to fix it.
so here's priority 3. Total cost is $1,095,000, just for the streets in priority 3.
Okay. So you're getting about $1 million a year in sales tax, is that a fair?
And part of that
No.
comes to be
No,
bonds,
no,
No, plus we have to pay the bonds, we have to pay off the
bonds that we did,
the payments, the loans we got to do the 2 street projects. We have
so you're.
bond payments to pay.
Okay, so part of that money is to do the streets, part of it is paying off the bonds that you borrowed to do the streets, correct?
Mhm.
Well, in 2020, okay. Well, I'm misreading this, maybe you can help me. Total income, is that 199,000, is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, it's 25 total, 199, is that, well, yeah. Cause you're still missing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so let's go to, 2024. You had 269,000, so,
And I don't know what our payments are due.
yeah, are these
Not
bond
off- not
payments,
off the
is
top
that a
of my
yearly,
head.
yearly payment due?
Yeah, I think
Can
they're
you get-
around 150 or 140.
150 to 1.
Yeah, without looking, I would hate to say, cause
Well,
I,
give
and
me
I
an
don't have
idea.
access to
Yeah,
that.
there's two
Yearly
payments.
payment on bonds, throw me a number,
400.
I was,
200,000 bucks?
I didn't do it, that, no,
Yeah.
just
I-
figures.
I
Probably
tell you what, Dave, if you come in tomorrow and request that information, we can get it to you and it'll be accurate rather than just trying to,
Well, I know,
Guesstimate.
and I appreciate that,
Yeah,
I will,
yeah.
I appreciate that and I will. I was just trying to get a guesstimate of numbers in my head. Nobody, it ain't $50, we all know that.
No,
you were saying 150, I was thinking 180, but I don't,
I think it's more too.
there's
About
there's
two?
two different ones.
That's what I
Yeah,
said,
there's
200,000, I'm figuring
Yeah.
that, so 200,000, that would be a fair, it
That's-
could be 250, and I'll accept that.
Yeah,
200,000 is a fair statement, so you got, okay. Well, I guess what I'm asking is, there's significant money in the kitty, balance of $850,000, and I just ain't seeing nothing done. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
I guess, and nothing happens overnight, I understand that too. Spencer Street was, we moved here 8 years ago. That was a thoroughfare that I took. That was the best street in the city. Now I'm fixing my shocks. The rumor, the joke is, you know how you get a DUI, y'all probably heard it, yes, no? They'll give you a DUI cause you drive straight, but the cop knows, cause you gotta drive like this to dodge everything, ha ha ha. But that's how Spencer's getting, and it ain't just Spencer, it's a lot of them, so. You got $850,000 in there, you got a $200,000 bond payment,
two of them.
2 of them.
So that's gonna
So
take
now
up
we're
about
4.
400. Yeah, there's probably 400
That's
left.
correct
I can
there.
tell you what's proposed for the 2026 budget for the bond payments. Be about, so the principal will be around $60,000 and the interest will be around $31,833. Now that's budgeted for 2026. 2025 principal will be about the same, and I think interest was around $33,433. So we're talking around $93,000 for bond payments.
A year.
For both of them,
Both of them.
Now it's
or
an,
one?
yeah, that's for both of them,
okay.
and that's
Half.
based,
Each or
We're a
total?
fourth of what we're, so now
See, that's what I
we're
was-
100,000 bucks.
Each or total?
that's total for both bond payments.
Yeah,
You
so
know, Spencer's significant, it's concrete, and I get it, but there's a lot of streets around here that it's just potholes that need to be fixed appropriately and re-asphalted. And in my humble opinion, you guys have the word chip seal in here. I haven't seen any. College is not chip seal, that's just asphalt. There's no rocks, in it.
Yes, there is.
Is there?
Yes.
Yeah,
We
they
put a
chip-
3/4 inch rock on that when we did it.
Really? Well, my apologies. It looked like, when I think of chip seal, I mean, when I was a kid, I rode my bike, god dang, you didn't wanna fall down, cause
That was more like sand that one time.
huh?
That was more like a sand type deal that one
I
time.
mean, we had rocks in them, there's rocks poking up, you know, that was the chips but this, you call that's chip seal, there's rocks in it?
Well, that's been drilled on and packed down cause we did it just before fair, so it got a lot of traffic going back and forth.
It's been, what, a year and a half?
On the edges where I walk.
Oh,
That's
it's
been
pretty
done,
good.
we've been here 8 years, that's been done twice, I believe. In the 8 years I've been here.
There was some other chip seal work done a year and a half ago as well.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, and I don't know, but I'm saying, it needs to be heavier rock. You know, them rocks are protruded, so you're on them rocks more than you are asphalt. I think it lasts longer. I don't know the terminology, but I'll look at that tomorrow in the daylight. When driving by it, I ain't been out on it, but to me, it just looks like, I mean, there might be an embedded rock in it, but chip seal when I was young, them rocks is up. Do you know what I'm talking about? Does anybody? No?
I don't remember it being that aggressive, I guess.
So we put heavier rock down the last couple of years than we have in
Yeah.
a long time.
You did or the company did?
The company did.
Yeah.
We ordered the rock, we paid for the rock, had it hauled in, and then the company
Okay.
come in and did
Well,
it.
I'm just curious, so now I'm hearing the bond payment's $100,000 a year, you got 850 in there. I get that Spencer is a more, however y'all try to fix it, a little more involved, but there's a lot of streets that if I just saw something going on, I'd be a little more patient, I guess is what I'm saying. And according to the figures, you got a bond payment that's due, that leaves $750,000, you know, that's all I'm saying, so.
Well, and that's where we're working, with our priorities there. We're trying to get a decent sized job because to get a company to come in to do a couple of blocks, it's $50,000 to mobilize. It's, the cost just to get somebody here to do a couple blocks. That's why we're trying to get together a larger plan, but we also do the chip seal. We're gonna do crack seal out the first of the year. We've done intersections with concrete. We usually try to knock out a couple of those, 2 or 3 of them. We've done the alley approaches. So we're doing small things,
Okay, I have another question.
okay?
Why, explain to me, this is, you increase sales tax 1%. The taxes are fairly high here, and they are everywhere. I have a legit right to bitch, cause I pay taxes. Any other small town, whether it be Goodland, or Colby, or Brewster, that's where I'm from, 200 people. There is not a bad street in Brewster. Their tax base is significantly less. Why, where's all the money going? Why are the streets in such disarray? Why? Explain that to me. And this has not just happened 8 years ago when I moved here. This has been going on for a long time. Why hasn't that been monies put away, whatever, to fix the problem and not let it get so damn bad that now it's 3 times the money or whatever? Why are the streets so bad? Why?
You got a good point. I've got 2 things I wanna mention. This is not strictly a streets fund either. It's infrastructure.
I read that. Goes to your power grid too that sucks, pardon my French.
You're right on being able to spend the money, but we've gotta know where we're gonna do it and where we're gonna keep coming up with the money from. It's gonna be a multi-stage project to get all this done.
Well, okay, I understand that, but all these years, where's all the money gone?
We can't
It didn't go to the streets, so where did it go?
we can't answer what happened 15, 20 years ago. I wish we could. We don't have, unfortunately, we don't have access to that kind of information.
How long you been here?
Hey,
You been on the board 8 years? Okay. 8 years.
yeah,
Where's the money going?
we've been using some of it. I'm not saying we've used it all, but it's like Amanda just said, I mean, we've been doing multiple
Well,
things on different times.
You know, we're like mushrooms out here in the hoorah of western Kansas. They keep us in the dark and they feed us bullshit. We don't get the money that Topeka gets and Kansas City gets. I understand that too. So let's put a group together, or let's talking with this gal today, and like, again, I'm learning. I don't know nothing, but I'm learning. There's a lot of money out there that's available for grants, especially rural areas. And let's get some people together to find that out. If we can't do it ourselves, we all pay taxes and it all goes to Topeka, so.
Cause part of the street projects that we did with the bonds, we got the CDBG grants with of $300,000 each time.
And that was
So,
work.
yeah.
What'd you say, Justin? I didn't hear you.
I said, the problem with having a grant is it costs more money to stick with that grant than just doing it.
Explain that to me.
Well, just like, over there by the school, you got handicap ramps that go to nowhere.
So in order to get those CDBG grant
You
funds,
gotta jump
you
through
have to
loops.
do their
Hoops
fees.
to get it.
And so you gotta do this
I
much,
see
you gotta
what
put
you're saying.
handicap accessible ramps in every place, every sidewalk has one, even though you've got a handicap ramp, there's no sidewalk up there. But you
Right.
had to spend the money to
Right,
do
right,
it to
right.
get the grant funding,
Well-
so there you weigh, do you want the grant funding, or do you want to maybe do it cheaper ourselves and not
Yeah.
have to go through all those
I
hoops?
have no idea what this build grant is, whether it's like an FHA loan, same thing.
Yeah.
Everything's gotta be in frickin' GFI plugs, and your windows got blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Bull crap. I don't know whether this build loan is a hoop, jumping loan or not, grant, pardon my French, but I will find that out, but, anyway.
Appreciate the work you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
Very much,
I
yes.
just feel like, guys, that let's fight with the state. They ain't going nowhere. I mean, good God. If we can get the grant to, and tell the state to go pound sand, we'll take that sucker right now, and you ain't making that into a 2-lane, whatever, I don't know. But, I just think there's monies out there available if we just look for it, if we put in our time and look for it. I think anyway. That's all I
Appreciate
wanted to
you.
bring up.
Appreciate your time.
Yep,
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, let us know what you find out.
I will, I definitely will.
Okay,
That
thank
might
you.
be a question to run past Michael.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. That's fine. Yes, Bill?
I have something I wanted to add to that.
Okay.
Most of you have probably heard the saying impact statement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I'm suggesting, I've actually talked to one person about this, is start on River Street, drive with a 2-wheeler or 4-wheeler, and take pictures of all the potholes all the way to Lorraine Street.
I took videos of it just this week, a walking video.
Oh, you did?
I've got 6 of them, and she's gonna do something.
So you're ahead of me now. You answered my question right there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I need those from you.
I've got one spare in there.
I figured, I needed 5.
I need a video, what's this?
That's a video of what you're just talking
I
about.
hope my lovely wife knows how to work this, but I don't. Thank you.
Betty, did you have anything else you just?
We could just put it on here, just set the TV up and show it, but
Yeah,
it's 16 minutes.
Well, this gal I talked to, they said, Dave, if you can get me videos, photos whatsoever, that's really gonna help, her end of it, but anyway.
Are you gonna be able to get it off of that, or if Randy was to email it, or if I was to email it, would that be more?
That would be great.
Okay.
Uh,
But it's 16
It's,
minutes.
2
It's too
point
big.
something gig.
I'll give you my email when we get done.
Mailing it might be an issue.
Several.
I'll see if we can't get like a Dropbox or a Google
Yeah,
Share Drive or something
Google
like that done.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember, it's like 2.3 gig.
Okay.
inside.
I'll find a way to either do a Dropbox or a Google Share or something.
It goes all the way from River to Lorraine. I stopped at Lorraine because that was the city limits, but I kinda shot down on the county part of that, and it's just as bad, so.
Did you happen to like lay a straight edge over them potholes and measure
I
depth?
stepped in them and I was measuring, or telling depths as we walked by.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Cause you have what I wanted to do.
Alright. Theater report?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks,
guys. Thanks for coming,
Have a good
guys.
evening.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
legwork.
Yes.
Good luck down there in that dry heat country.
Thanks.
Jared, do you have
No,
anything-
I
anything under-
wasn't there.
Okay.
I was,
Jen, do you have
an
any
agenda.
input or?
Really doesn't look bad on the wall. Oh, yeah, really, considering.
Yeah. Superintendent report.
So RLM, the company that's in here doing the mooring, hit a sewer main the other night. Yeah,
Was it Mark?
it was marked, it was like green paint, they hit it here. So I told them, you're paying for this. So we got a $1,582 bill. I think that's for 4 guys overtime and
Yeah.
parts. So we're waiting on air compressor parts still. I called today. Waiting on sweeper parts still. We've started the process for this meter reading thing. See how that goes. I'm still working on ward stuff. That's most of what I have.
Are you planning on having Ward come in?
I hope so. I hope to get the stuff bought with what we didn't spend last year,
Right.
and then get them over so we can in the next year, after January, I guess. So, I do know, and I don't know where we left this off at, but Cheyenne County Wildlife would still like to figure out a way to own the gun club without paying a tremendous amount of money for it. I mean, they take care of the thing anyway, they want to put a big building in. So, if I need one of them to come in, Mike said he'd come in if he needed to. I just don't remember where we left off at with it.
was it something with the legal or something?
Yeah, the survey or something.
No, we have a legal for it.
Oh, I thought there was something with that.
There was a little triangle that was
We
not
fixed
correct or
that,
something,
yeah.
right?
The legal of what they were leasing, but we got the legal description fixed.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So I don't know where we left off on that.
I don't either, I just seen it the other day and he mentioned it. And
I think they're willing to put a clause in there that if they ever disband, it would just automatically go back to the city.
yeah, he did say
Yeah,
that.
might as well do it. Yeah.
Lauren, what was that?
Maybe have them come in and talk about it.
I know they wanna put a building up, but they can't do it unless they own it.
Right.
Cause you're going through grants and stuff,
Yeah.
kinda like we,
Yeah,
you know,
we should
if
probably
it's
do
a
that
state road.
for $1.
I don't think we could do it for less than what we do the empty
industrial
property,
park?
yeah. Which, I mean, is what, 29 cents a square yard or
not
something
much.
like that?
Acres.
Huh?
We're talking acres.
I know,
Yeah.
but I still don't think that we could.
But that's a little different because you're selling it to somebody to put up a structure for personal and or business use. This is an organization,
Right.
nonprofit that.
And it's not even just deeded to it, it's
I'd say they've been taking care of it anyway,
Mhm.
for, I didn't even know it was our building until
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
might as well, help take care of the park, might as well.
Yeah, I just said they deed the
Free
park
up.
over to us.
Right.
County
Free it up.
does.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe they're a 501c3, so it's a, whatever classification that is, a
Wildlife.
nonprofit. Mhm.
Yeah.
I believe so, don't quote me on that 100%, but
As long as they're
believe that's what it
501c, it does. There's a whole bunch of them. They don't
And
need to be a
they may-
C3.
they may be a C, but
Um,
they do have that, whatever classification for nonprofit.
Yeah. I can look into it and see.
Yeah.
if that'll work.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's all I have.
did you wanna talk about the street, Equity Street? Or did you wanna talk about it, or did you wanna talk about it?
I was gonna talk about it.
Okay,
I mean, unless you want Dan to talk about it.
I just don't wanna forget about it. Okay,
I've got 4 things.
okay. Any questions for Dan? If not, is there a motion to accept and file the,
Move to accept the file for the superintendent report.
Justin moves?
Second.
Move, or second by Kale, all in favor? Okay.
You have 2 ordinances in front of you. Those are things 1 and 2. 658 is the expansion of hours for sale of cereal, malt beverage, and liquor to match the states. Full stop. And then 659 is raising the meter charges for electric and water $1 each for those rates. So they will need, each one will need a separate roll call vote.
Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 658, modification of hours of sale of cereal, malt beverage, and alcoholic liquor, moved by Justin, second by Kale.
Say, first,
Okay.
yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Dara?
Yes.
Justin? All right, that one passed, and then ordinance number 659 is modification of water meter and electric meter rates. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So,
Second.
Moved by Kale, second by Larry. Kale?
Yes.
Larry?
yes.
Dara?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Okay, that one passed. I'm gonna sign these two.
Justin, Dan, and I went over to the equity area to see the utilities and where they would run for the potential easement of, for potential, I guess, reservation if we decide to vacate. And it is so heavily covered by utilities. I mean, they're just all over the place. And then even if we were to vacate just Jackson, that's not going to leave a through path because of where we would have to vacate and where the scale sits. So essentially, in the event that that ever gets closed off, or they don't allow traffic through it, it would turn it into a cul-de-sac. It would turn the portion of, is that Valley Angle?
Railway.
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 It would Railway Street.
That's how it was platted in 1887.
It would essentially turn Railway Street into a cul-de-sac, and I just,
Should I use here?
I think it's giving, I think it's, has the potential to cause, I think vacating it is gonna have the potential to cause a lot more issues for the city than not. And I don't know
See you, Betty.
if the city wants to perhaps grant them use,
Well, here's the thing.
but I don't think that,
If we don't vacate it, I think we probably need to address the two structures that are built on
right, I agree.
the city streets.
Plus the concrete pad.
Yeah, the containment and well, the scale house, the scale, and the
Containment
containment.
pad.
Cause Jen's pulled those building permits and there was not, the scale house was never approved by the city. And the containment, the concrete was poured before the building permit was ever applied for, so
This is over the water line.
I think we need some sort of agreement with
I agree.
the equity if we're not going to vacate.
What's the blue box?
That's what they were
Do you get a bill?
selling. That's
Oh,
what-
they're
So,
selling.
yeah, this,
Gotcha.
this scale house and then
We're
this
trying-
one
still
is
trying to
in
sell
here,
that?
but if you
Yeah, it's
vacate that. here's
Well,
what they-
allegedly the closing was last Tuesday. Right?
Tuesday, I can't, yeah, I don't know.
The closing was supposed to be last, I think, Tuesday.
Hmm.
We don't know if it closed or not. They sent a copy of the title commitment, which said that the city needed to vacate,
Mhm.
and I just,
I agree with you,
I don't think we need
I
it.
don't think we can
wanna
make it.
take that
Okay.
chance.
I don't think we wanna take that chance, and then, I mean, I also think it needs to be addressed because that scale is over water and sewer, isn't it?
Definitely sewer.
I know the water turns right at the
Yeah.
end of the
The
scale.
water was under
It
the-
might be just beside it.
Water was definitely on the containment pad.
Yeah,
You're talking out back?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where they fill their water trucks.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a meter out there, that they fill their water trucks.
but I'm pretty sure the sewer goes right under the scale,
Yeah, I think it was.
if I remember correctly. And so they've built it on top of the sewer line, so if we ever need to get into if we ever need to tear down to get to the sewer line, that's gonna be a big problem.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that'll obviously need to be addressed.
So how do you do that?
Well, it depends on what the council wants to do and what the solution's gonna be. I mean, if we're going to lease it to them, if we're going to grant them an easement for use, I mean, how we're going to do it is gonna depend on what the council wants to do. I don't know if one of the council members or mayor wants to meet with, at this point, I don't know whether it would be St. Francis Equity or High Plains Co-op
Well, it would be
to
for
discuss.
sure
Well, if it got,
equity because the containment,
definitely the equity and possibly High Plains I mean, I don't know if the closing has occurred yet,
yeah.
but I don't know what they would be,
They won't have clear title.
they won't have clear title.
Mm-mm.
And so, I mean, I don't know, if it hasn't closed yet, it'll be just St. Francis Equity, and if it has closed, then it'll be both St. Francis Equity and High Plains Co-op. But it's going to need to be, it's gonna need to be addressed, and I don't know what the council wants to do, I mean, or what they're what,
I'm going to reach out to Lynn with the equity and see what's transpired.
Yeah,
And see if we
yeah.
can meet with them maybe.
I think that would be, I think that would be a good idea.
Okay.
Cause I can't say, once it's been decided what's gonna happen, I can prepare the paperwork, but I don't know what they're willing to agree to, and I don't know what the council wants to do.
Okay.
My fourth thing is regarding the lease to the, no,
Do you have 5 things?
I have 5 things. Are you sure you don't want to talk about the during mayor's comments? No.
Okay.
I have 5 things. Regarding the lease to CCKCF, it was discussed last time that we want it to be a reimbursement for utilities as opposed to a rent to cover utilities. Because if it's a rent, then it comes out of tax exempt status and we would have to pay tax on the whole entire building, which means we would have to increase their rent. And we didn't want to do that, so I did some research into seeing if just having it be the $300 for the reimbursement of utilities would violate the public purpose doctrine. The best thing that I could the most close authority that I could find for that was an Attorney General opinion from 2000 for the city of Oberlin, who was renting the city equipment to private individuals for their projects. And they said that they are not going to state what a public purpose is, because that adjusts with each city, and you know, the more population you have, the different requirements you have, and the less population you have, there's alternate requirements. And so, in fact, the exact quote is, "What a public purpose for which public funds may be expended is not a matter of exact definition, and the line of demarcation is not immutable or incapable of adjustment to changing social and economic conditions that are properly public and governmental concern." So, the interpretation, I received 2 responses, and one of them said to take a look at the foundation's purpose, and if we believe that it satisfies Dillon's rule, which was turned into essentially public purpose, that it would be fine. And then the other one was, I've always viewed the public purpose doctrine in Kansas pretty liberally. The governing body, can the governing body with a straight face explain why there is a public purpose for allowing the use? As long as the answer is yes, it generally meets the test, although I assume your community foundation is tax exempt, but if not, you might want to think through the property tax considerations if you will need to condo the building. And so my, I guess, argument in the email that I had sent out to the listserv was that the community foundation serves our county and city by providing grants for improvement to public amenities such as parks, dog parks, tornado shelters, etc., which have included grants to both the city and the county for certain projects. The foundation also offers grants to other entities for improvements or expansion of services or facilities. And so with that being, I think, a public purpose, it should be fine unless the council, I mean, I would think that the council could articulate that the community foundation serves a public purpose.
So we can leave it just the way it is?
Well, I can amend it to saying it's a reimbursement, but we can leave the amount the way it is, because I think we're fine on that front. The questions, comments, concerns on that?
No, I think we just leave it the way it is.
Okay, I will modify the
Language in
I'll modify the language in it, and then I'll get it for the next meeting. I'll get it reviewed, modified, and then
Okay.
get it to you for the next meeting.
I'm done. End of the year.
There is a 50-year airport lease agreement that was signed in 1979, and the city we've deeded over.
We deeded the actual real estate of the airport to the county back in 2008,
But the city
but
never,
we didn't relinquish any authority to make decisions about maintenance, upkeep, whatever. In this 50-year lease agreement between the city of Bird City, the city of St. Francis, and the county, both cities gave that authority to the county. However, back then, the city of St. Francis appointed at least 2 people to the airport board, and Bird City did, and the county did. And the county has since passed a resolution that solely the county appoints those, so we really have no say-so in what goes on up there. So we really just need to probably terminate the lease and give all authority to the county,
right,
basically.
right. The question was, do we need to just wait for it to run out? And I don't see the purpose
I don't see a need to,
I don't see the purpose to need to drag it on for 4 more years,
That's
because
right,
it's
November.
not going to, I think it terminates on December 4th of 2029, if I'm remembering correctly. It was a 50-year term, and it was signed on December 4th of 1979. So if it's a true 50-year term, I didn't go searching for the termination clause in there, but if it's a true 50-year term, it expires 4 days shy of 4 years from now, and I just think that we terminate it. We're not using it, it's not
yeah.
functioning, there's no reason to have additional paper. It's the whole thing with the connecting link agreement. Nobody, the
They were
document.
very busy in the late seventies of getting all of these.
So, I think we just terminate it, and I can just type up a termination, as to between St. Francis and the county. Whether, I mean, what Bird City does, it'll be,
That's between them.
right, but the termination will be between St. Francis and the county.
Everybody okay with that? Okay,
I don't think I have.
are you sure about that? I have one more thing for Lauren.
Oh my, oh, do the former road? The former,
No, I don't on that one.
do you,
In the
wa-
whole Pat Cress property, Betty had called me on asking timeframes, and I thought, well, I pulled up, the lot up here that Ben Small, that property that he put a bid in, and, the stipulations of that was he was to tear down the existing house that was there and to erect a storage building in 6 months' time, and that 6 months' time has done passed and gone, and I don't believe there's a storage building. So I don't know if we want to have Lauren send a letter to follow up to ask the status of that, cause that was the terms on the actual deed. Kinda like the same for the industrial park that, I don't know why we put the term that he had to build something, but that was his plan. I think that was, if I remember right now, his plan was, he offered X amount of money to tear down and put up, and that might have been in his offer. Jen, were you coming to meetings then? Do you recall?
I feel
I
like that
maybe
might have been the
that
case.
Might be why we put that in there. Lauren.
Possibly.
So is everybody all right if we'll verify that, maybe? Do you still have that information?
do we have a copy of the file deed? Cause once I bring them here, I don't,
Call my, or email me, or
Okay.
I can, email me and I'll send you what I have over for my office.
okay.
Is that all right with everybody that we just follow up on that one?
Yep.
Cause it's down, right?
He tore the structure
Yeah,
down,
that's what
and
I
it's just an empty lot,
thought, yeah.
but he was,
He was
in
gonna
his
build.
plan, he was going to build a storage building, and
Right.
that's not
I think we
happening.
had to go mow it this year.
I believe that's accurate.
You did? I think we did go mow it this year.
Do you wanna do what we talked about? Do you wanna do that in executive session?
The other thing,
The former driving thing?
I think Dan was gonna follow up on that, so we can hold off on that one.
Okay.
Yep.
To my knowledge, I have nothing further.
Here, motion to accept and file the attorney report.
Second.
Moved by Justin, second by Kale, all in favor. Treasurer report.
Looks like Lila maybe uploaded some different reports, the usual reports that you guys can look at. I'm going to contact Reach soon to get a quote on a new server for our CIC stuff. It's pretty old and the software on it is definitely out of date. And I talked to CIC, so I'm just gonna give you guys a heads up that I'm gonna get a quote on that, cause we probably need to do something soon. We sure don't want our server to go down.
No.
Other than that, that's all I have.
Any questions for Jim? If not, do your motion to accept and file the treasurer report. Moved by Larry, second by Dara, all in favor. Clerk report. Council comments, we'll go backwards and scale stuff out. Justin?
Kinda like to bring up kinda what he was saying, cause I had this idea too, is like a task force basically for the access road to have a committee or, in mind. That they can go and, keep in contact with the city, keep in touch with Michael Baxter, and then like, a lot of these people group and take it out from there.
Okay.
Talk about getting new people on there too, so.
Well, I didn't know if that would fall in the realm of the street committee we already have, or if you wanted to go above and beyond or additional to streets committee.
I think it needs to be members of the community, cause they're doing a lot of the legwork anyway, so. Reaching out to, officials and
I just don't know how much we want people. I appreciate what they're doing, but
Mhm.
at some point, it's gotta come from the city. Lauren, would you, I mean, maybe getting the information and bringing it to the city to
Or to meet
contact,
with
or
the
to get
committee
to, yeah.
of the council, and then bring it to the you guys
Mhm.
bring it to the council meeting.
I just don't know, we want a whole bunch of people contacting different,
Like you and Justin and Dan meet with
committee,
a
yeah.
committee and then bring it
If
to
we-
the,
Like a community committee,
Council.
and then they could bring it to the streets
Mhm.
committee.
cause they might have some
Yeah.
question, or ideas, questions that
Yeah.
come to light.
Well, it just seems like it needs to be more organized than just having everybody call everybody.
Well, that's my concern, you have so many people
Yeah,
calling,
well, that's why I said.
then you're
you
overlapping.
You select the committee that's gonna be on there,
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
something to think about.
okay. Anything else? Sarah?
And when you do committees next year, the foundation's not a appointment anymore, cause it used to be a council appointment. It's not, it's elected when they went to the St. Francis Community Foundation, or to the Cheyenne County, Kansas Community Foundation, so it's no longer, has to be anybody off the council.
Do we still want a liaison type person to communicate back and forth, or no?
And I don't know. I don't know, that's a good question. Would they allow that in their meetings? I mean, I'm sure most of it's
I mean,
open, but
Just,
A visitor can come,
Yeah.
but, you might be, it was like, for a while Chris was coming, on behalf of CCDC, but once we started the meeting, regular meeting, then they were kinda excused to,
I'm just thinking somebody on the council that would act as, if the foundation had information to bring to the city, or the city had information, just kind of the
right?
go-between to where
Yeah.
you're not reaching out to you this time and him the next time, that there's kind of that
Mhm.
appointed person that kind of was the liaison between the two entities to bring information to the council and to take it to them. Just a thought, we could,
Mhm.
obviously
Yeah,
look into that and see.
they haven't elected new officers yet over there either, and they're still replacing Carla and I, cause both Carla and I are both going off. Our terms are up after 20 years. I don't, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
It was when Art Kruger and Carl, and it was the New Gen Fund then.
Okay,
Yeah,
It
and
has
then
been
it
a
went
long
to the
time.
St. Francis.
Kudos to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now,
Well,
so
no,
it's
lot of
definitely
good-
grown.
Lot of good things over there.
Yeah, it's done well. But, yeah, and then as for the theater board, I don't know, they asked me if I wanted to go on as a board member, so I gotta decide, so, but then you would have that, if you want some representative to do that within.
Yeah, we'd still have somebody from
Mhm.
city council. Which we'll have new people coming in, so we'll get to, divvy up mayor appointments come January. Do we do that the first or the second meeting,
I think it's their first meeting,
is it?
pretty sure.
I think so.
Okay, something to look forward to, Randy. Go through committees now, see what you want, see who's coming off, see what you'd like to be on. But, okay,
So, yeah, okay.
Larry? Okay, we went backwards, cause
we're
we
already
stepped
there.
out, so yeah, we're going backwards.
I guess I only have is that hopefully we can get Miller out here soon and let's get a giant project going.
Yeah.
Because we clearly are collecting enough to you for all your
encourage that.
commitment and stuff.
Thank you. It's been good
Appreciate it.
serving with you.
No problem. I appreciate it. It's
You wanna stay
Barry,
on?
you're gonna be on
You
one
wanna
more
stay
meeting,
on
right?
long
Well, that's the plan as of
Okay.
now, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Nope. Not even by phone?
You're not gonna volunteer on other boards just to get
No,
at large from the,
I think
from Arizona?
it could be that community, street,
Liaison?
yeah, person.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I can fill in, when I come back to visit. It's on a meeting night.
I just want a quick 5 minutes executive session for non-elected personnel when we're done with everything, so. Looks like we have bills to review on ordinance 1105.
Everybody's gotta
Hey,
sign
Oh, yeah,
the Christmas.
there, you could have been signing one. Larry and I are still signing.
Did you relinquish your pen? What did you?
Right there. Relinquished my pen.
Yeah, they're not free.
Thank you, Bill, have a good evening.
See you, Bill.
You bet. I actually learned a lot here tonight.
No.
I actually learned something here tonight.
Very good, very good.
Jen, would you like these?
Sure.
And then here's this copy of the ordinances. And do you want this fancy pen? Can you let me borrow?
Let's take it as a
Not the Eagles Cup.
How was that?
She just really gave me What?
Thank you, Lauren.
I'm not needed for the executive
No.
session now. Okay.
I moved to accept the bill.
Second.
Moved by Justin, second by Kale. All in favor on ordinance 110.
He really is retired.
What's that?
He really is
Do we
retired.
want this?
Oh, no, you got one more.
Yeah, I
I
know,
got one more.
yeah, I can bring my.
Do you wanna do the applications one first?
That's up to you. 10 minutes at the most.
Do you think 5 would do it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, next
Uh,
week.
Yeah.
We'll just run over.
I hear a motion to go into executive session for 10 minutes to resume at 8:30 for, non-elected personnel for city clerk application review. Moved by Justin, second by Larry, all in favor?
Yep.
I guess everybody.
Okay, hang on a second.
This person?
Okay, we're out.
Okay, out of executive session, no decisions were made. We got 5 more minutes of executive session for non-elected personnel for job performance with just the council to come out at.
So moved.
Moved
Second.
by Larry, second by Dale. All in favor?
Aye.
For how long, I'm sorry?
5 minutes.
Okay.
8:40. We're out of executive session, no decisions were made.
I'm in, who's your?
Moved by Justin,
Second.
second by Dale,